everyone. Happy Monday. I hope you are doing well. I'm so excited to see you even this way. I love this week's book. It's called The Great Donut Parade by Rebecca Bond. And our animal this week is ladybugs. There's a cute little ladybug that appears in the book in the illustrations, which is why I picked ladybugs this week. So I will tell you about that. Before we get started, I wanted to say thank you to my friend Brooke, my friend Annette, Genevieve, and Riley for sending me such lovely emails. It was so wonderful to see you guys. Thank you so much for your videos and for your messages. I loved hearing from you. So before we get started, I want to tell you one more thing. I want to show you actually. It's kind of a mess, so you kind of have to go along with it. But this room that I am always sitting in is actually, it used to be our playroom, but it's now more like homework space. I don't really know what to call it. Anyway, the boys have my children have their desks here. This is where they do their work. But that's not what I was excited to show you. What I wanted to show you is this giant pile of containers filled with books. Books and papers and lots of things to sort through and organize for you guys for next year. We've had some book donations, so I'm processing all the books. So next year, when you're in the library, everything will be ready for you. I'm so excited. Anyway, so let's get started. Here we go. The Great Donut Parade. Now, before we get started, I also want to tell you about this. This book was written by Rebecca Bond, who is a British author. She lives in England. So you'll see some of the words are different than ours. They're English, but they're not American English. They're English from England, right? They're British. So here we go. Can you see the pictures? These are great pictures, so I want to make sure you see them. Here we go. The great parade began with a donut that Billy had tied to his belt with a string. The donut brought hen with a cluck, cluck, cluck. She fancied herself a crumb of this thing. Yes, it's a rhyming book. You guys know how much I love those. And then came a cat, all quiet and slinky. Look at that cat. And now Big Dog with a bounce like a spring, together all racing and chasing one donut that Billy had tied to his belt with a string. Right here and right now, things really got going. For Daisy and Knickers came galloping after. There's a little girl. Her name is Daisy. Now, do you remember we said that some of the words are different? So they're calling underwear knickers. But there she is, this little girl running with her underwear. And that brought the rest of the cast of the play all jumbled and tumbled with snorfuls of laughter. So they're playing dress up. So they're all dressing in different things. And there's Daisy running. Do you see her running there? And so followed Mabel, their Saturday sitter, and Adelaide Bede, who'd been doing her hair. There's the hairstylist. And there's the babysitter. And a whole bunch of runners who saw this running and figured the race they were running went there. Now you can imagine all the confusion when somewhere on Main Street they picked up a band, all noisy and joyful and jolly and gleaming, all beaming with pleasure like this had been planned. And soon there came others, waiters and diners, porters with luggage, mailmen with mail, bricklayers, horn players, painters and masons, a heavy dirt digger, and a covey of quail. That means like a group of quail. Those are the birds. The firemen came with their firemen's hoses. The sign painters came with their just painted signs. There was a wedding reception with roses. There was a farmer's full barnyard of swine. Swine is another word for pigs. Look at all those pigs. And there's the bride and the groom and some of their guests and the firemen and the farmer chasing after the pigs. And there were some things you just never saw there. Cloud catchers came with the clouds they had caught. Citizens came with the pages of history. Little May Pinker brought things she had thought. And the ladybug. There's the cloud catchers. Can cloud catchers really can you really catch a cloud with a net? You can in a book, right? Here's the story. And now the parade, led one by one child, had suddenly swollen to something so wild, whirling through town so breathlessly fast that everything shook as the great parade passed. Look at all those people. There's the Big Digger too. And there is Billy with his donut tied in a string. Which would have been fine, the little town stood, but for the parade it didn't look good. Just when their energy couldn't be topped, right in the front, small Billy, he just stopped. What clucking and leaping and barking and giggles, what skidding and bumping and laughing and snorts, a piled up spectacle fit for a king, a splashy display like the bursting of spring. Look at that. You never quite think of the marvelous things that happen when donuts are tied up with strings. And then, with one glance, small Billy departed. That means he left, leaving behind this great gala he'd started. Gala is like a big celebration. There he is. He slipped down a path to a spot in the shade, to a place of pure cool the tallest trees made. And all afternoon, as the bay bluely gleamed, this Billy set sail and happily dreamed. While eating a crisp and delicious fried ring, the donut he tied to his belt with a string. Oh, how I would love to be by the ocean, playing with boats. Look at that. How lovely. Mr. Scafidi, I think, would really love this book because the illustrations are amazing. Look at this blue of the shade that the tree gives. Isn't that beautiful? My friends, The Great Donut Parade is our book. Hello, Amit. Let's talk about our animals. Oh, going the wrong way. Ladybugs. What? I know. It's a good one. Amit just said that it's one of his favorites. It's one of my favorites.
I'm
too.
her son.
All right, ladybugs. So, these, see in this picture, I'm going the right way, are all the different kinds of ladybugs that there are out there. This is kind of interesting. Ladybugs aren't bugs at all. They are actually beetles. Did you know this? I had no idea. They are beetles. Let's see, they come in different colors and have different number spots on them. But this is the thing, you know, you guys, I'm sure you've done this before. I do this all the time still, certainly when I was your age, but I still do this. I love ladybugs. I love to see them crawling on my hand and then let them fly away. So they are not poisonous. They're actually super sweet animals. And we actually really, really need them because one of the things that they do is that they eat aphids. Aphids are these tiny, 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 they're sometimes clear, sort of you can see through them, very, very tiny creatures that are in the garden, and they eat the plants. So ladybugs can eat up to 5,000 of them in a day. Crazy, right? So we really like ladybugs. They're really good for gardens and plants. Farmers really like them because they protect their plants. Um, but they actually, the reason that they are these colors, see how they're like orange and red? The reason there are these colors is because they want to scare other animals who might want to eat them away. So, and they also release this smell that kind of smells bad to other animals. So I've never smelled anything weird about a ladybug, but if I were a bird, maybe that wanted to eat them, then I would think that they smelled gross and then I wouldn't want to eat them anymore. What else can I tell you? Oh, they live to be about a year old. They leave mom when they're about 2 months old, 2 to 3 months old. Um, and what else can I tell you? Oh, this is kind of cool. I didn't know this. I thought they died in the winter, but they don't. They sort of hibernate and they kind of like to group together in clusters to stay warm. But they live through the winter, which is really cool. I had no idea. If they get very hungry and there isn't enough food for them, they will actually eat each other. Yes. But they live through the winter. Um, one more thing I want to tell you about them. This is kind of cool. For my friends who go to church and know about Jesus and his mother Mary, they are actually named after Jesus's mother Mary. So what happened was a long, long, long time ago in England, funny, because that's our author for our book, The Great Donut Parade, is British. She's from England. So apparently farmers in England a long, long time ago prayed for ladybugs to help them save the crops, the things that they planted, and so they would pray to Mary, to Jesus's mother, and they would say something like "Blessed be Mary," and then they started calling, and then they started saying that they were Mary bugs, and then they changed it to ladybugs. So now we all call them ladybugs. Isn't that kind of cool? I had no idea. There you go, my friends. Ladybugs. All right. It is, you guys know I live in Ashland, so I don't know if in Douglas, it's quite a bit away from here, maybe 45 minutes by car. I don't know if in Douglas it's sunny today, but I hope it's still sunny here, but it's gonna get rainy later on. So I hope you get the chance to be outside today. I hope you have a fabulous week. I hope you were kind to your mother or whoever takes care of you yesterday and made it special for them, for the grown-ups for you who take care of you. And I miss you terribly. Send me a message. Tell me what you thought about our book today. Take care of yourselves. I'll be working on some more books for you for next week, of course, and for when I see you back at the library. Take care of yourselves, my friends. I will see you next week. Bye, guys.